Good morning, everyone. It's me again, Al Brown Spencer. Today is Wednesday, the 8th of October 2025, and it is just past 7:30 in the morning. Uh, I didn't sleep well yesterday, and my mind is occupied. I'm thinking because even that I have this van, which is, as you can see, I'm sleeping in literally in like a coffin and in very bad condition and no hygiene and so on. Even this might be taken away from me. 2 days ago, two police officers, and this is not a coincidence, of course, and it's obvious and it's clear. I mean, if you cannot see from clearly what's happening, it's a problem, and I can see clearly what's going on. It's not a coincidence, and two police officers came to me yesterday after a neighbor reported me that I went to their properties, and actually I didn't go inside their property. I just rang the bell from outside asking for help to start my van because the battery is down, so I needed a jump start or charging the battery and so on. Anyway, the police came and they said, "Oh, you don't have insurance on your van, so we'll have to take it." And they gave me 48 hours to sort out the insurance, which of course they know it's impossible. I went to a few insurance companies and they said to me, if it is not an Spanish registration, so they wouldn't insure it and so on. And I'm going today, this morning, about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock to the Center for the Cars and so on, and department for cars, and I will be asking them to help me to register the van so I can insure it. And if that doesn't happen, that will put me in a very difficult situation. I don't know, the police will come and say they will have to take the van and so on, and I'm not going to be giving them the van. I mean, I'm going to be locking the van, and if they try to move it as it is, they will damage it basically. And I will be videoing this, and I'm going to ask people in the street to come and see it. Not only this, they are trying to make it look like that, they are helping or whatever. They are trying to make it look like that they are helping me to get off or to get out of the van, to find help and so on. And as usual, the authorities who are running the business using the police indirectly, and they are convincing everyone that they are helping this guy. Look, he needs help. If no one helps him, he's not going to leave the van, blah blah blah, and all of this bullshit. And they are trying to get me out of the van and so on, by force, basically, to get the police involved, and they have a reason, and they have put me in this situation. I mean, they made me vulnerable in so many ways. Not just that I don't have a job, moving from a country to another, but also now that I don't have insurance on my van, so they would take the van away, which will result 100%. If they take the van, that will result that I will be sleeping on the street, because I will never go and sleep in places where Arabs, Muslims, or North Africans or Middle Easterns stay or sleep. And this is exactly what I believe that's what they want to achieve, to get me to sleep on the street and so on. Otherwise, I mean, if really the authorities, if they want to help, and the police, if they want to help, they can help me to actually find an independent accommodation where I don't have to stay with Arabs, Muslims, or North Africans or Middle Easterns. They could help me to get the van registered so I can insure it and so on. I mean, I am 100% sure that the police department here in San Sebastian, they know and they have the knowledge on how, to get a van registered or a car registered, even if it's not, like it's a foreign number plate and so on. And they are trying to make it a problem that it's impossible and so on, which doesn't make sense to me. And they just want to put me in a confrontation with the police and take the van from me, and make me homeless. And in the end, they would say, we're trying to help him. We're trying to help him to leave the van so he can, sleep in a place. And of course, all of this bullshit, they know 100% that I will never go, and stay in a place where Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, and Middle Easterns stay, and so on. And this is the case here. They are everywhere in these places. That's why this is the reason number one. I am not using any social services and so on. Not only this, they are trying to make it look like, they show everyone we are informing him. We are informing him about the social service and so on, and he's the one who refused. So in the end, they are not just trying to pretend that they are helping, but in the end as well, they are trying to make it look like I am the one who is refusing the help. So it's a false chance of help. So whatever they are doing is not 100% help. It's not help at all. And in the end, it will harm me, because if the police, for example, manages to take the van away from me, or confiscate the van, or for any reason, they will be literally throwing me on the street. And I am not saying that it is good life living in a van. I'm not living in a van willingly. I mean, I'm forced by the authorities living in the van for so long. And if they want to help, they trying to pretend that they are helping by forcing me again, using their authorities, by forcing me again to leave the van and taking the van from me. And that will result, as I said, I will be sleeping on the street 100%, because I will never go and use these social service or these organizations, because it's being used by lots of Arabs, Muslims, and North Africans, and so on. And anyway, in the end of the day, I don't want my van to be confiscated, even if they help me and give me accommodation, which is away from Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, and Middle Easterns. I still don't want my van to be confiscated or taken from me, because this is my van. It has all my stuff here, and I need to use it anyway, because I will be registering it and I will be using it in the country normally once I register it, because now I'm in Spain. I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, I am worried, and yesterday I didn't sleep well, and I have been thinking about this a lot. And I am going to write a paper explaining to them this situation and what it will cause me if they take the van away and so on. And I am sure they have a solution rather than taking the van away and so on, because 100% if they take the van or move the van by force, the van will be damaged, because one of the wheels are removed completely, and the wheel hub, and I'm not willing to put it back, because it's going to damage the more damage to the van. And if they move the van without the wheel or the wheel hub, it's going to cause the van significant damage that, beyond repair. Literally, they will wreck my van if they try to move it without, the wheels and all of this. So I'm going to try to get some people today to come to be here, or to be present, or stand by if this happens, to come here and video this. And I'm going to video this if that happens. If the police tries to take the van by force, I will be, of course, everything will be locked, and I will be videoing the van while they are removing, and I will be sealing the doors and all of this, and so on, because I am not willing to sleep on the street. I don't want to sleep on the street. If they really want to help, if the police want to help, or the authorities want to help, first of all, the authorities who used and abused and tortured me, these bastards are still the ones in control, and they are doing most of what's happening to me. And if they wanted to help, they could have given me justice, but they are refusing. They are refusing, and they're trying to make it look like that it's me. I am refusing, to have justice. This is one thing. The second thing is, if they really want to help, as I said, they can give me accommodation, first thing. If they want to get me out of the van so I don't sleep in these conditions, which I don't want to sleep in these conditions, if they really want to help me to get out of the van and so on, they can give me an independent accommodation away from Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, or Middle Easterns. This is first step. And I will straight away leave the van and go, and sleep in this place from today if they offer me. No problem at all. But without taking the van from me, because I need the van anyway, and confiscating the van and taking it to the police, this is another story for many reasons. I know for sure that these bastards, they have been using this van by putting, listening devices, cameras, vandalizing the van for their own purposes, tests, blah, blah, and all of the bullshit they are doing. And if they take the van, they will literally cover all of what they did to the van. Not only this, they might actually destroy the van completely. So, in other words, it's very difficult situation. I don't know what's going to happen, really, but I am not willing to give my van away. This is where I am sleeping now, and I have no other place. And if they take the van from me, I will be sleeping on the street. So they will turn me from vulnerable to even more vulnerable person. All because they would say, oh, we're just doing our job. We're just, applying the rules and so on. Although, in fact, my van, the wheel is taken off, so it's not drivable, and it's 100% it's not being driven whatsoever. So in terms of the insurance, this van can never cause any damage to other van. The only thing that can happen with this van in terms of insurance and so on, if someone drives into it while they are driving in the street. And I'm not gonna video how I parked the van in a very safe way and so on, that even the possibility that it was parked in a wrong way, that someone can hit it or whatever, is not there. Yeah. So this is another thing, that the van is parked peacefully in a quiet place, and it is parked in a secure way, that it doesn't cause, it's not blocking any way, blah, 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 and all of this. Not only this, the wheel is taken off completely and the wheel hub, so the van is not being driven whatsoever, and it's damaged in a way. It needs a new wheel bearing, and so in other words, from the insurance point of view, this van is not causing anything whatsoever on the road, whether blocking roads or hazards towards other passengers, or pedestrians, or other drivers and so on, and it's not blocking ways and so on. And not only this, it's secured completely on the ground with an axle and so on, so it cannot move away or move no matter what. Again, I don't know, they're trying to make it look like, the rules are blind and they just have to follow the rules and so on. As I tried to explain, in terms of the insurance, the van is not causing any hazard. It's not driven, so I'm not driving anyway, and this van at all and so on. I'm just sleeping in it, and it's parked securely in a place where it's not blocking anyone's way and so on. Yes, it's on the road. It's not parked in a private area. But again, as I tried to explain, it's not driven. So the insurance, the insurance part of it, that it's not driven. So any kind of even third-party insured driver or fully comprehensive and so on, if it's their mistake and they drive in the van, there is nothing from my side that I would be liable to. Do you know what I mean? Like, in other words, if any driver somehow loses control while driving and drives into my van, it is their sole responsibility in terms of rectifying what's going on. It's their company, and it's the police to be reported for what they did and so on. And it's a matter between the police and them to resolve, to fix my van and so on. Yes, I wouldn't be having like an insurance to get involved and so on, but the police is there for this matter, and they can appoint anyone to assess the damage and so on. And it stays still. It's not driven. So the police knows this car is not being driven. So no way this car would cause an accident or get involved in an accident by being driven. If there is anything possible for this van to happen in terms of accidents and so on, it would be someone driving their car or whatever they drive into my van and damage it. This is another thing that I'm highlighting, and I'm going to be taking a video of the van completely, where it's parked and how it's the condition and all of this. It is complicated, and it is they are putting me under more stress, my abusers, and I don't know if this is all for just to see how I'm going to react, or to put me in a situation where there is a confrontation with the police, how I'm going to react and so on. I have seen even just questioning the police in the UK can lead to. I mean, in the UK, I was beaten up. I was, put in it was completely unbelievable. Just to question why they are asking me or why they are stopping me and so on. And even being, having an appointment with a court in the UK or a judge in the UK, they prevented me of meeting the judge and they beat me up and all of this for no reason. And they put me in a mental health hospital for 3-4 days, putting doubts around my mental capacity, although I had an appointment with a judge in the court at that time, and they beat me up outside the court. So I know what the police can do. I know how they can react and so on. And even when the police beat me up in the UK many occasions, I've never raised a finger against any one of them whatsoever, because I know what that can lead to in terms of complication and so on. So in other words, I am not ready to put myself in this situation again with police. It doesn't make any difference. Police here, police there, it's police. So they think that, they have the right to do lots of things and so on. And even something like that, it's the rules. You don't have insurance. We have the right to take the van. So they think now that they have the right to do everything, to take the van, blah, 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 and all of this, which completely and utterly not correct, because the van is not drivable. It's in a bad condition in terms of the wheel bearing. They cannot move it as it is. If they move it, they will cause significant damage to the van. The van will be locked completely and so on from all the sides. Trying to remove it with a trailer, because the trailer is hitched to the van already, they will have to break the lock on the trailer or and so on. And this is not something that they're allowed to do. I mean, even if they are allowed to remove the van because it's not insured or so on, they don't have the right to break the locks on the van or on the trailer and so on, or the hitch and so on. It's complicated, and hopefully it's not going to be a confrontation, and hopefully the police will be more understanding, because I'm going to write down paper explaining to them most of what I explained in this video and so on. And if they really want to help and help me to avoid any kind of confrontation or complication and so on, there is another thing that they can do. And I'm sure the police have the knowledge and the communication and the connection with the traffic police and the other departments, that they can give them the details of my situation to allow me to register the van. So once the van is registered, I can ask people for help to give me money to actually pay for the insurance and so on. And once the van is registered and insured, I can actually, if people help me with more money, I can actually fix the van, take it, to the MOT here where they do the test for new registration, and so on, to be driven and so on. So I don't know what to say apart from the fact that, it is a complicated situation now, and it's getting more complicated, and that put me under stress last night. And especially the two police officers yesterday, they passed by with their van, with their police car, to ask me, how is it going? So it's like they are following, they are involved in this, taking it personally now, or taking it on their personal responsibility and so on. So they are putting me under more stress. Again, as I tried to explain, the police obviously is being manipulated and being used obviously and directly and clearly by this. And again, there are many parties that could be responsible for this, or altogether the country where I was born, these bastards, German politicians from the UK and so on, and many other countries that they got involved in this shit. So yeah, the situation is not easy. I have all my stuff here. Another thing, if they try to move the van, by force and tilt it, this and that, lots of things here from the front and the back, everything will fall. And that will damage lots of things here that I have, equipments and tools and things and so on. It's going to be very, 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 high. It's going to be, lots of things will be damaged and so on inside the van. And again, I would be, if that happens, I would be holding the police responsible for this, even if they say it's the right to move the van because it doesn't have insurance. Regardless of all what I explained, that the van is parked securely, the wheels are taken off, so it's not driven 100%. It's not driven, and from the insurance point of view, this van can never cause any hazard to any pedestrian or other driver, and it's secured, or I mean it's parked in a way that it's not blocking any way or putting any driving or anyone who drives in the street in hazard or in a bad situation and so on. And not only this, as I said, the wheel is taken off, so it's not driven and so on. So I don't know what to say. I mean, again, if the police is trying to help, as they might be convinced by other authorities that they are, by getting me off, or I mean, like getting me, that's it, taking the van from me, so I am obliged to go and, use the social service and sleep in these places, they are wrong. Because that is not going to happen. I would never go and sleep in these places where Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, or Middle Easterns stay. If they want to help me, help is simple. Help me to get accommodation where I can stay, that no Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, or Middle Easterns anywhere around it. And I will be moving from today to the accommodation. Yet, that doesn't mean that I would be willing to let my van being taken away, because this van, I need to, sort it out, and I will be driving it here, registering here in Spain, and driving it, and all of this. So this van is I don't know what to say, is a big deal in terms of, my situation now, especially that I am sleeping in it. Yes, it's filthy, it's not healthy, and so on, but getting me out of the van is not helping me unless you offer me accommodation. That is a kind of help. That is real help. As I said, accommodation away from any Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, or Middle Easterns, that would be help. But still, I wouldn't be willing to give my van away. I mean, you can help me by help me to register the van. Yesterday, I went to they tried to make me running around in circle. Like, if this is not possible, the other thing is not possible. If you don't have insurance on your van, you cannot register it. This is, something that I was told in one of the insurance company, and I'm sure he could be bullshitting. He doesn't know anything, blah blah blah, and all of this. And if the registration, they said they cannot register it without insurance, so they would be putting me in running around in circle, the egg first or the chicken, blah blah blah, and all of this. So I am not willing to be, driven and withdrawn in this bullshit and so on. And even if they try to do this, as I said, I will try to get some people to help in terms of taking videos of my van being removed and the damage and so on. And I promise you, if this van moved in any way, form, or shape, it will cause damage to the van, to things inside the van, my possessions, and all of this. It's gonna cause lots of trouble to the van and the trailer. The least what they would do, they would be breaking the hitch lock, they would be breaking the locks on the van, they would be doing this and that, and I will be videoing all of this, and they don't have the right to do this. Even if they say that they have the right to move the van, they don't have the right to do any of this, breaking the van or causing damage and so on. And as I said, if they want to help, I mean, they know my situation. I am in a very bad situation, and my abusers turned me into a vulnerable person. And I'm still fighting to get justice and expose these bastards. They have been putting, doubts around my mental health. They have been dosing me with drugs against my will, even till yesterday. And I cannot prove it. And I went to the police twice asking them to report these bastards for dosing me, and they refused even to take a report from me. So, in other words, I don't know what they want to do. Put me on the street, make me sleep on the street, put me in a mental health hospital, put me in a confrontation with the police. So in the end, they arrest me and put me in a mental health or whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is, taking the van or removing the van by force or getting me out of the van at this moment is going to harm me a lot, not going to help me. And the police know this, and the authorities know this, and they are doing it deliberately for many reasons and so on. So anyway, if you can help, please help, because I know it's not a very easy situation. So if any solicitor out there, any solicitor here in Spain who can speak English, watching this, please come and talk to me. So if the police tries to move the van by force, we can video this and so on and take it to the court, because they will damage the van 100%. And anyway, it's not the right to move the van. Even if the van doesn't have an insurance, they need to help me to get insurance for the van, even if it is not their responsibility or duty, as a kind of gesture of help, or some kind of helping and so on, to get me help to register the van and so on. And above all of this, as I said, if they are lying as usual, saying that we're trying to help him or getting him out of the van, so they force me to use any of these organizations, they know for sure that is not going to happen. These bastards know me very well, and if they get me out of the van, I will be sleeping on the street here in San Sebastian. And then the police will be driving me from a place to another. You cannot sleep here, you cannot sleep there, you cannot blah blah blah, and they will be targeting me everywhere, driving me from everywhere. You cannot sleep there, you cannot. Do you know what I mean? And in the end, again, they will try to put me in a confrontation with the police. After a while, after my condition deteriorates, after sleeping on the street, physically, mentally, how I look, my clothes and so on. Because if they take the van, all my clothes, everything in the van is here, everything I own is here. And by having access to the van, coming to the van, blah, 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 sleeping here, I can change my clothes, I can do this, that. And not only this, it's the fact that all my stuff here, and if they take the van, I cannot take all my stuff away from me. Like, all my stuff here, everything I own is here, and so on. So it's very difficult situation for me, and put me under stress. And, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been thinking all night yesterday and so on, and decided to put this video asking for help. And I will be writing papers for the police, explaining to them this situation, and I am not willing to give my van away and so on, but they can help me with their communication with the traffic and so on, to register, to get Spanish number plates. If I get Spanish, first step, even, it's not, it wouldn't be a registration to drive the van yet. It's just to register the van here in Spain, because I'm a resident here in Spain now. I'm not going anywhere. So to help me to register the van here and getting Spanish number plates, then I can get insurance for the van easily. This is what all the insurance agreed on yesterday, that if the van has Spanish number plates, they will insure it. It's not a problem at all. Even the money-wise and so on, that I don't have a bank account and so on, they said I can pay installment monthly in the bank. So using their account, I can pay it in the bank and so on. So, once the van has Spanish number plate, I can get insurance for it. And getting a Spanish number plates for the van or registering it here, it doesn't mean that it's, for me to drive it, because still I need, I don't know what else they do here for the registration to actually drive the van beside the insurance. Maybe I need to make like an MOT test for the van and so on. And in this case, I will need to get the parts, which is expensive, and I'm trying to get help to get the parts. But as I tried to explain, the very first step to resolve this situation is to register the number plates, or get Spanish number plates for the van here. Even if this is the initial help to get the van registered, that it is in Spain and it has Spanish number plate, even if that doesn't mean that I can drive it even when I have insurance. Even if that means I still need to get MOT and so on. But the first step to get number plates for the van here in Spain and so on. And I know for sure that the police can help with this, because they know everything about the traffic, and they can talk to the traffic department and so on, and explain to them the situation, and this is exceptional and so on. So yeah, anyway, if you're watching this and you can help, especially if you're a solicitor or someone who can help, please get in touch. They are trying to distract me from my main goals of getting justice and exposing these bastards, and that is not going to happen. Even if, I don't know. I mean, only death can stop me from my campaign. Even if I am going to be, I don't know, just holding my printer and the papers under my arm on the street, and so on, I will be doing so. Injustice is a bitch, and authorities, are unbelievably injustice. And because they have the power, they are controlling everything and moving everything like pieces of chess. Even the police, they are using the police like pieces of chess. They are using the police whenever they want, and so on, whether legally or not legally. I mean, I've seen in the UK illegally, unlawfully, and they did everything from beat up, arrest, false imprisonment, forging documents, and all of this. So I don't know what I should expect here in San Sebastian or in any other place. But yeah, if you can help, that would be great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care.